Hi, I'm Lady Charmaine, and my guest today is a luxury real estate agent specializing in high-end real estate. He is an area power broker in every sense of the word. He has closed over $200 million in sales since 2011 and was named his company's top broker in Miami in 2012 and 13. And he's here today to talk about his newest franchise to Bravo's hit series $1 Million Listing, Miami. Help me welcome Mr. Chad Carroll to the show. How you doing, Chad, and welcome to the show.
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. I'm glad to have you on the show. And one of my first questions for you, Chad, is how did you even get the opportunity to even be a part of this new franchise and being cast on the show?
You know, they interviewed a lot of the top brokers in town, and I have a very, very strong reputation here in Miami, and I think my resume speaks for itself.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned that because that was my next question. How did you even develop a strong reputation? Because you went from New York to Miami. And how did you build that reputation to even get $1 million listings?
I mean, I really worked from the ground up. You know, I moved to Miami knowing nobody. I built this business up from scratch. And I worked up the ladder. You know, things weren't handed to me. I started out selling, $100,000, $200,000 condos, and worked my way up the ladder to selling multi-million-dollar properties.
Now, what sparked you to even get into real estate? Because you are the son of two doctors. How did real estate interest you?
I am. I've always had a passion for real estate, and I love people. I love dealing with people on a daily basis. I love being out on the go, and this business just fits my personality so well. It lets me work as hard as I want to work, and I see the results.
Did your parents want you to become doctors like them and follow in their footsteps, or they didn't mind whatever you just did, you just was successful at it?
I think it was a little shock to them at first, but, they've always been extremely supportive in everything that I've ever done. I grew up, playing, competitive golf, and I went to college for golf, and they always stood behind me. And when I decided that wasn't the career path I wanted to go and I wanted to get into real estate, they were 100% behind me.
Now, I want you to tell us about the show. Is there a lot of competitiveness to get those $1 million listings? So for those who do not know about the show.
I mean, it's very competitive. The Miami real estate market, we're all competing for the same listings. Just in Miami alone, there's 18,000 brokers. Wow. So we're all going after the same property. So it's very competitive. It gets very tense at times, and you're going to see a lot of that in the show. But what you're going to see on this show compared to the other franchises is you're going to see the lifestyle that Miami has to offer and everything that goes along with it. And I think that is what is very entertaining about this show. Not to mention, you have 3 cast members that have completely different personalities and selling approaches.
Okay, for those who do not know about real estate, but they may have a desire to get into real estate, tell us, how do you even get a client to even trust you to sell their property or to help them find a property? What are some of your secrets?
Well, I think the most important thing that got me to the level that I'm at today is being an expert on the market, knowing everything there is to know about the market, the buildings, the properties, the ins and outs. Because when I got into the business, I didn't know anybody or anything, and I studied 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I literally was dreaming about real estate. And when the market turned around, there was nobody that knew more about this market than me.
Wow. So basically, one of the first tips is to make sure that you study. Now, how do you go about finding good clients?
I mean, finding clients, it's hard to pinpoint, do this and you're going to find clients. It's talk to every single person you see and meet in your building, in your neighborhood, go to charity functions, be involved in the communities that you're trying to sell in. It's all about exposure and getting yourself out there, letting everybody know, what business you're in, what you do, what you're all about. Once they see, they have to, in order to have a client trust you, they've got to know you. And so you let them know you and let them know that you're a good person and you've got their best interest in mind at all times. That's very important.
Now, how do you handle disappointments? You've worked with the client for a long time, okay, and you thought they liked this property, and then they decide we don't want it and we want to wait till later, and you spent so much time with that client. How do you handle that, and how do you bounce back?
That's actually a good question, because that, it happens a lot in our business. I could work with somebody for a year or 2 years, and either they end up not purchasing or, just finding a property on their own or something, and it's frustrating. But it's how you bounce back and recover from those frustrations and disappointments. And, at first in my career, I would let those things bother me. And now, I just move on, and, eventually what goes around comes around. You work hard enough, you're going to succeed.
Okay, my last question. How do you keep a client from going to your competitor?
I mean, my clients don't go to my competitors. They're with me for a reason. They're with the best. And, it's all that constant attention. If you're on top of things and you know what you're doing, there's no reason for them to leave. The second that they feel like they don't get enough attention, or that, you're not giving them the right properties and all that, that's when they leave. But it doesn't happen to me. My clients are my top priorities, and I will not sleep or eat until they're taken care of.
That's almost like a marriage, what you just said. If you don't give them enough attention.
I feel like I'm married to my business, but I love every minute of it. I mean, I wouldn't change a thing. I love, dealing with people. I love properties. I just love everything about it.
And I think one of the last things you have to have dealing with $1 million listings is good looks, because you are a handsome man. And I think that might help you along the way. I saw your photo. I was like, okay, how gorgeous is he? So I think that helps you a little bit too.
I don't know if the looks help or not, but I appreciate the compliment. I think image, though, has a lot to do with it. I might be one of the only people in Miami that wears a full suit 90% of the time.
Wow. Even in the tropical heat, that's awesome. And Chad, I want to just commend you on the success of your business. I looked you up, the Carroll Group. Congratulations for all the success that you were able to achieve in Miami and also on the show. So again, congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Have a wonderful day.
You too. And I want to remind the listening audience, make sure you check out $1 Million Listing Miami on Wednesdays on Bravo, 9/8 Central. And Chad, I look forward to having you back on the show.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.